everyone, welcome back to my channel. I'm so excited to be here. It's been such a long time. Today I'm going to show you how to create this beautiful, glamorous, gory Halloween look. I did do this a couple of years ago, but the quality just wasn't good. So here I am to show you how to create this. It is easy and it's a lot quicker than you think. So if you want to learn how to do this and be the showstopper this Halloween, then please keep watching. You are going to need some liquid latex. I'm using the Mayron one, and to be honest, I really love this one. I find that in comparison to the other like Spirit Halloween brands or some of your basic ones, I got no skin irritation from this. At first I wasn't sure and I ended up loving it. So just something to be mindful of, but you do not need to use this one. I've actually used the ones from Spirit Halloween in the past or whatever brands I could find, and I got the big bottles of them. So it really is up to you. But you are going to apply some to your collarbone and attach some cotton balls. This is how we are going to create that collarbone look. You are then going to take your latex and start placing it around where you've applied the cotton balls, because what we're going to do is apply pieces of paper towel on top, because we're going to tear it and create that ripped skin look. Something I do want to preface is that this does not need to be perfect. The beautiful thing about a look like this is that imperfection looks the best, and every time you do it, it's going to look different, and to another person looking at it, they'll never know about the mistake that you think you made. It's going to look incredible every single time. So give yourself some grace and show yourself some kindness throughout this process, because I promise it's so easy once you start doing it. And you don't need a lot of things. So of course, your liquid latex, your cotton balls, your paper towel, and then your blood. That's pretty much it. And then whatever makeup you can apply. You can even use some face paint or some eyeshadow. But here we are going to start applying that paper towel to your cotton balls. So I'm going to put it right over, as you can see, and then we're going to create that base. So taking your liquid latex, you want to make sure all the edges are nicely flat, and if you find that they're not, once it dries down a little bit, apply a little bit more latex and go slightly over on top of the skin. It'll create more of that variant texture, so it'll look like it's blending into the skin. And don't worry either, because once you apply your paint and your eyeshadow and your blood, everything will look very cohesive together. But while we work on doing this and applying the left collarbone, I wanted to share a little story time. So something funny is that when I was a little kid, my mom used to do professional makeup and special effects, right? And she taught me this technique actually. So she taught me how to do this, and it's my favorite thing to do, and I used to love watching her do it. I went to elementary school and she had taught me how to cut off my finger using this technique rather. And I went to school with my finger covered up in paper towel and the blood and all that kind of stuff. And my teachers freaked out and called them to say, how can your daughter do this? She pretended to cut off her finger. And in one breath, they were like, oh my goodness, my daughter went to school doing this. But in another breath, they were so impressed, because for a moment there, I convinced the teacher that that's exactly what I did. So anyways, it's something that I've always been passionate about. And I think in another life, if I could go back, pursuing special effects in movies or something like that would have been so cool. It would be a great interest to even still do a course and see the right way to do things or different techniques that people do. This is something that I'm so passionate about, and I absolutely love it. So that's a little fun fact and a little story time for me. But yeah, let's continue. Have you ever done anything silly like that? Okay, so here we are going to open up the paper towel. I got some latex on my scissors, so it's a little bit sticky, but you're just going to tear it open, and as you can see on the right side, I've opened it up. So we are going to open it up to look like the skin is folding over the collarbones. sure that I see the skin. I am later going to cut out little pieces of paper towel or tissue and put it over top of the cotton balls to really create a nice shape to the collarbones. So just make sure that you save a little piece there. I do it later on. You're welcome to do it now, but feel free to fast forward. Now I'm just going to apply more of that liquid latex. I want everything to harden really nice. And those extra little flaps that you see are meant to act as like ribbed skin. But again, it doesn't need to be perfect, because once everything's done, it's going to look great. And this is one of those trust the process moments. Another thing too is that I didn't want to fast forward this part, because I know how daunting it can be when you're trying to follow a tutorial, and there's nothing worse than being like, okay, why is it going so fast? So later on I do fast forward when I'm creating dimension with the eyeshadow and the face paint with the color, but this particular part I really wanted you to see how I did it in real time. So what I then start doing, once all the latex is dry, don't be like me, don't rush because you're excited, I'm going to apply foundation. The thing here is that I go a little bit darker with the foundation. One, because it's too dark for me right now and I don't want to waste my current one, but two, once everything's all blended out and you apply all those dark shadows, it's naturally going to look a little bit darker. So you're welcome to use a foundation, to be honest, really any, that maybe one you don't want to waste, one that you don't really use that often. But I am also going to add some to my neck over here. I want to create a little bone in my neck, and then I'm going to apply to my forehead. So this is where I'm going to stop. Give it a look. We are doing the exact same technique. And let me know if you have any questions in the comments as well. If anything is confusing, if you need clarity, I'm happy to respond. Also, don't be so hard on yourself. This stuff is sticky. I would recommend having a baby wipe or a damp cloth to wipe down your scissors, because it can get a little challenging to separate the paper towel from the cotton ball. But again, trust the process. It's all good. Don't get frustrated. It's all going to work out. So taking the rest of your foundation now, since I wanted to rush, we are going to cover everything that we've done. So you can see, obviously, this is a thicker Bounty paper towel, okay? But you want to try to ensure that you're not seeing so much of that texture. So I like to put a layer of foundation on and then put another layer, and you'll be able to see too as I go on throughout the video, if that texture is still coming through, I put on a thicker layer of foundation, then I apply everything else. But again, it's going to be covered with blood and all that kind of stuff, so it is going to be more covered, but you do want it to be as realistic, so to speak, as possible. And this is just an easy technique that you can do with some of the things that you have at home. I mean, you wouldn't really have liquid latex at home, but if you have paper towel, cotton balls, it's a really affordable look to do, and it's a nice way to really stand out and create that pop for Halloween. I'm sure that, you know, this technique is how they used to do it back in the day. There are so many more advanced ways of doing it, but this is one that I really love, and it's so special to me too because it's how my mom was taught, and she taught me, and granted, she learned this stuff 30-40 years ago. So this is something that I really enjoyed to do. So I really hope that you're enjoying this. It's so much fun, and like I said, it brings me so much joy, and I can't wait to bring you more tutorials. So if there's anything you're interested in seeing, please do let me know. So I wanted to add a little bit more texture underneath for my skin, so I'm just applying some imperfect pieces of tissue underneath, and then I'm going to cover it all up in latex and do the same process. Once it's dry, cover it up in foundation. Now you're going to take some eyeshadow palettes. Don't mind mine being so dusty. We are going to take the ones that have some black, some of those red-brown tones, and some neutral tones. So this is where we're going to create some dimension. I also have some Mayron face paint as well. We are just going to basically carve out some shadows. We're going to add some yellow for that bruised look, some red, some brown, some black. And again, it doesn't have to be perfect. This is the best part. So I spent quite a little bit of time doing it because I was just taking my time, enjoying being in the moment. But if you're on a mission, you can do this really quickly as well. But yeah, you just create that dimension, and it doesn't need to be perfect. So feel free to fast forward. This is where I have fast forwarded a little bit just so you can see, but just have fun with it and play with it. And if you find that any edges of the tissue are sticking up too much, add some more latex to create that texture so it blends in your skin, more foundation to thicken it up, whatever you see fit. But yeah, just have fun with it. So this is where I applied that piece of tissue over the cotton balls, as you can see, and then I put a little bit of white face paint on top So it doesn't make a huge difference, but it definitely does help a lot with defining it, and you don't have to worry about all the sticky cotton. But yeah, it really is coming together. So just keep enjoying, and I'll talk to you in a bit. So this is the fun part where we are going to start applying some of the blood. I have different versions of this. A couple I got from Spirit Halloween. We've got some blood gel, some scab gel, and this is where you can keep it really affordable too. And to be honest, your local Dollar Tree or Dollarama will sell some of this as well. Some of the thicker blood they might not, but they have come a long way. But you can get this and make it really cost effective. So as you can see, I've blended out all my dimension, and I keep adding to it as well, but I did want to cover my top. Don't make the mistake like me. My shirt ended up being stained by the end of this, so I definitely urge you to wear something that you don't love and don't want to keep, especially if it's white. So I've started to apply some of the gel, and as you can see, it is already coming together. And the placement doesn't have to be perfect. You get to have so much fun with this. So now my favorite, the scab. This is where it looks really real and it stays nice and shiny. I really started loving the way it was turning out once I did this. So definitely stay tuned for the final result. I think maybe I could have used less blood, but in this case, I just saw it and I was like, more is more, more is more. But I will be spraying blood on me as well, and that's where you'll notice all the edges of the latex will just start to blend together. Another technique is just to take some paper towel and dip it, and you can create that spatter effect. This is looking so good. This is where I probably should have stopped, like I said earlier, because I just saw red and I was like, more is more, more is more. But anyways, that's it. Okay, folks, final touches. Fix up your makeup. Obviously, I have a little scratch on my face. Fix it up, do what you want, fix your hair, and then you'll be all done. The best part is you can go back and add as more or as little as you want, but this is so fun. Let me know if you thought this was easy. I think it's easy, but I also recognize that it can take time, but a couple folks who have tried this in the past did say how surprisingly easy it was considering. So I hope you enjoyed this. Thank you so much. Please be sure to let me know what you'd like to see next. Let me know if you'd like it, if you have any questions, and I can't wait to see you all soon. Bye.